Welcome back to Peepodcove. Now, a few days ago, there was a video, or it might have been just audio sound of Jay-Z's accuser talking to, I guess, private investigators. These weren't even like police, I think. And there were a few things that stood out to me. I've kind of left the whole Jay-Z thing alone because he has been messing with what you could say, people. People have gotten cease and desist, people have gotten door knocks. That's here on YouTube. So everybody's kind of strayed away from it. And of course, there's always more information that comes out. So I was just scrolling through this morning and I found this video by Miss Tisa Tells. And we all know she's one of the queens here on YouTube and she's always doing the news. And the things that she said is kind of basically what I was thinking. But a lot of us out here now are like just not saying anything because you never know where they're going to come from, But we're going to break this video down quick and she's going to get into it. It's not a long video. It's maybe 9-10 minutes. And we're going to talk about it. But I want y'all to let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about this whole Jay-Z situation. This is Peepodcove. And I do reactions. I like to talk. If you got a video or anything you want me to react to, leave it down in the comments. I want to hear it. I want to see it and make it work. Want to support the channel, hit the like button, hit the Cash App. I appreciate it. Let's do it. Let's do this. Come on, Miss Tisa Tales.
Listen, new information in the Jay-Z defamation lawsuit. If you guys don't know, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, who is one of the illest and realest to do it, came out to show that Jane Doe lied. And guess what? It wasn't just a sworn statement from the private investigator. Baby, they had actual documents. They had actual tapes. However, we heard the tapes, and I gotta say, Jay-Z, it's not hitting the way you think you are. Yeah, I think this was a rare misstep in Jay-Z's case. I think he should have just took his win and twirled off into the sunset.
Fact.
The fact that he was on Good Morning America, just hear me out. Because first of all, I'll give y'all the gist.
And when originally when he won this case, and I remember it came up, like, why is he going after them? And people was like, well, if you're innocent and you do this, then you should go after them because they're trying to damage your name. They're trying to kill your credibility. Kill your credibility, and a lot of us been thinking that, like, what's the move? Because being on the East Coast and being close to hip hop, there's a lot of things that we've been hearing for years. And what do they say? If there's a lot of smoke, usually there's a fire somewhere. And if the fire hasn't come yet, it's because the smoke is still building. And you just haven't seen the flames, but it's there.
He was on Good Morning America. Just hear me out. Because first of all, I'll give y'all the gist of it, right? They had a recording. I'm going to play the recording, but the Jane Doe has come back clapping saying, you 100% terrorized me and coerced me. And that's why I said those things. Jay-Z is looking for a gotcha moment, but it looks like he might have just got himself. Now, listen, I don't care if you're a Jay-Z supporter or not, or a Busby supporter or not. Baby, we got to call a spade a spade. This was a rare misstep for Jay-Z. And not just even in my, well, of course, this is all my opinion, but let me tell you why. And then we're going to get into what Jane Doe said. And then we're going to contrast that with the tapes, which I believe the tapes show two things.
And before she get into the tape, I want to say, as far as Jay-Z is one of my top rappers of all time, maybe one or two. And it's not Kendrick. I love Kendrick, but Kendrick is more of an art. He comes later. But my top three people that I could say are the three people I could always listen to their old music is Jay-Z, Busta, and Ice Cube. That's my top three. It's never going to change. Now, Kada, I think, is a king. Kada, I think, could be better than Jay-Z, but what Jay-Z gave me at that time in my life can never be replaced. What Busta gave me at that time in my life could never be replaced. The same thing with Ice Cube. When he came out Straight Outta Compton in 89 with NWA, that cannot be changed. So what Kendrick is doing for me now, they did that for me back then. So I'm a huge fan of Jay-Z. But a spade's a spade. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And at the end of the day, we all got family members. And any one of our family members could have ended up in a situation that the alleged is alleged, right? So I'm going to let her get in. Tisa like to cook. But I just want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. This is one of my goats when it comes to hip-hop. You know, we just looked at the Super Bowl where Kendrick performed, one of the greatest performers who is now over 100 million views, right? If it wasn't for Jay-Z, I don't know if Kendrick would have ever got the Super Bowl this year. Jay-Z made all that happen. So at the same time, you're looking at all the good he's done for hip-hop, but at the end of the day, there's so many things going on in the back rooms and these back places that we can't be for sure. I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, he didn't do it, or I wasn't there. And all this is alleged. This is entertainment. We're trying to find information out. We're going to speak about it because it's where we are today. So let Tisa get into it.
To contrast that with the tapes, which I believe the tapes show two things. We're going to play those. One, that she was scared and terrified. Two, you have her on tape saying that Jay-Z was at Diddy's party. On top of that, this denial, let's actually talk about it. Here's the thing. I think because we're on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and my job is online, I feel like we constantly overestimate how much people know about news. Even though people knew of this lawsuit, a lot of people in America and around the world really didn't know about this lawsuit or what's going on. Why did Jay-Z send his representatives on Good Morning America to actually say Beyonce's husband is accused of raping a 13-year-old? It's insane to me.
Well, the fact that he went on Good Morning America is always to try to fan the flames and put them out. I mean, either two things going to happen because he's trying to save face. He has an image to protect. He has so much things to protect. So that's what they all do. That's what they do. And why would you not?
That you said those words out your mouth and you gave this story, which was dying down. And most people, especially media publications, were like, okay, so there was no truth to it. It was dying down. It looked like you could have painted them as a liar or charlatan. You gave it new life, but you also put this story on the focus of hundreds of millions of people that really honestly didn't care either way what was going on.
Like, to me personally, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Tisa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I like to talk about this because you want to dissect this. I think the reason why Jay-Z did what he did is because he wanted to stain Busby. Him and Busby, or his lawyer and Busby, has some type of infection with each other where they just don't like each other. So it's almost like he wants to kick the body. I don't care if there's no life in it. I'm going to still kick it. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to kick it. And that's what I think. His ego got in the way. He thought he had one. He got to win. And he's going to drag this guy as much as he can because now he wants to kill his business. At the end of the day, he's still got cases against Diddy. Now, he needs to try to get all these cases dropped because who's his friend? Diddy is his friend. And I'm sure there's a lot of this stuff where they're linked together, not just this one, because I think there's some cases in New York as well. I don't think Jay's linked to them, but there's some Diddy cases in New York as well. But Jay's trying to basically want to make Busby the least credible as possible. So all his cases look like scams. Nah, not this time.
I think it was a huge misstep. And I also think playing the tape is a huge misstep because even...
Yeah, another thing I wanted to say too that like she mentioned already was the recording. The recordings of the tape left me with a lot more questions than it gave me answers. Because what she said, unless this stuff was video and it was the police, we could say, oh yeah, that really happened. But these were private investigators. We don't know what happened.
Even though when I read the private investigator's affidavit about her admitting to everything, I said then she could have been scared. This sounds very thin. But when you hear the actual recording, that's when it all comes together. That 100% she looks scared. It looks like they are bullying now. And listen, I get it. Jay-Z's name. Nobody was thinking about this case anymore. Why would you get on Good Morning America and say to middle America and all over the world and use that verbiage? Beyonce's husband has been accused of raping a 13-year-old and make people go to the web where social media is presenting their own receipts. And then people are back to making up their own mind. Yes, that's great for social media, but Jay-Z, why would you want people to give that thing? And the one thing that plays out that they keep glancing over, you played the recording. It was a minute clip. I'm about to play it, where the girl said that you were at the party. Before, you could have just been like, it's like, you literally placed yourself at being at the party and then asked people to disbelieve what the girl said. Even, matter of fact, let me just play this recording. And then
and that was one of the things I picked up on too, because I thought originally they said that they weren't even there. They weren't even anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden now you're saying he was at the party, but he didn't participate. You do have to scratch your head on that, because it's kind of walking it back. So now that I'm not the accuser, I'm at the party now. What? So before, when you were accused, you weren't at this party, but now she's saying you're not accused, you're at the party all of a sudden. Bruh, that's suspect. That's not even a word.
people to disbelieve what the girl said. Even, matter of fact, let me just play this recording and then we'll get into her full, unequivocal denial. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Let's get into this. I had to find the recording. Okay, hold on. Let's go.
This morning, the woman who said she was 13 when Sean Jay-Z Carter and Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted her after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards is heard talking to private investigators about her claim.
Again, this is on Good Morning America. Why would you want this broadcasted while people were eating their Cheerios? This was such a misstep. This was going away. Like, it was going away. But you know what? Let's keep going.
That Jay-Z did not assault her.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with
I hear those dogs
towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is all...
Now, let me just say this. Did y'all hear the dog barking in the background?
I heard the dogs.
She's home.
I heard the dogs. One or two. Let me see. Yeah, one or two dogs.
It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is all...
Now,
sound like one.
Let me just say this.
Maybe two.
Did y'all hear the dog barking in the background? She's home alone. These people are in her face, waiting for her parents to leave, and was like, so you saying this? And asking leading questions. Why the dog is barking? It sounds like she's scared. Let me rewind this one more time, because this is wild to me. Listen to this.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is also heard saying her lawyer put her up to suing one of the world's most recognizable stars.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him. With Jay-Z. Busby did? Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
ABC News exclusively obtained a minute-long excerpt of the recording.
This was the dumbest move ever. Again, hearing the recording, it actually sounds worse for Jay-Z. And I don't care whether you're a Jay-Z fan or not. This sounds bad. They are leading. She's home alone. The dog. She's not giving anything. On top of that, you literally admitted on national TV for no reason that you were at the party, because didn't you just go for hours and hours saying you weren't there? It's not true. You have proof. So what part should we believe? Is she telling the truth when she says you didn't grape her? Or is she telling the truth, or is she lying when you said you were there? What does this prove, except for the fact of your agents or people that represented your interests were in her face? Now, Jay-Z's saying that I didn't hire them. Well, who did? Desiree, Rock Nation, Marcy Croft, Quinn Emanuel. Come on, let's be real. Like, at the end of the day, this is not a good look, and it opens up more questions than it was. The story was going away. And also, there's a new story. So you are now admitting you were at the party? Because it sounds to me like she was being led. The dog barking, all that stuff. Even the way she was like, no, Tony Busby put me up to it. He pushed me up to say Jay-Z. And the guy, you have any idea why? No. Again, she sounds like she is scared. And I want anyone to know, if you're supposed to be a Jane Doe, if two people show up on your doorstep unannounced, uninvited, while your parents just stepped out, let's not forget they were stalking her parents, cornering them at gas stations, cornering them everywhere. Remember, everybody said, oh my God, but the girl's father said she lied. That's not true, because according to the girl's father, they tried to corner him multiple times at gas stations, supermarkets, and everything else, trying to get him to sign something or admit that his daughter was lying or it couldn't happen. And the father refused. And this has been going on for months. They waited until she left. This is not a good look. I heard people being like, oh, it's because he wants to get his casino approved. Baby, this goes deeper than the casino. Mm-hmm. This goes into a rare but strategic, in my mind, misstep. And again, the recording, I don't care what she said to those detectives on the recordings. I will stand firm in saying, if that was me and someone showed up on my doorstep unannounced, talking some shit about Diddy, baby, you best believe I'm going to tell you everything you want to hear until you go. And I can call my lawyer and the popo and figure out what's going on. But let's actually listen to this woman's response, because I think it actually says a lot. Like, this is wild to me. As a matter of fact, I think her response just dropped. Her response was, she declared, well, Jay-Z was saying she declared 4 times he never assaulted her. And when asked if she'd signed an affidavit for that effect, she said, but how does this help me? Exactly. What were you promising her? How were you telling her this was going to help her if she would only say that? Y'all, listen. Matter of fact, hold on. Catch me in my next video. We are going to talk about her response.
There's a lot of things out here, man. And I try to keep things as real as I possibly can. But how do I feel? I believe Jay-Z and what he's saying, because all these things that he's been doing is suspect. I've been trying to stay away from this because they have been hitting up reactors as well. Just like how they talking about his parents getting cornered. There's a few reactors I know where they showed up at their house and basically they want them to report stuff a certain way to say, hey, this is not what's going on. And then some of them, they offer them to pay them money. So I think, I'm not going to say what I think, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole Jay-Z situation. Do y'all think, and you know what? There's also another clip of the woman talking to Busby on the phone, and it goes the whole new way where she talks totally different. And you're like, wow, somebody's lying. And I know the tapes are out there, but if first Jay said he wasn't there, I know everybody remember that. Now, if you weren't there, you weren't there. So how all of a sudden, yes, he was there, but he didn't attack me. He didn't do anything towards me. That's guilty as ever, bro. Whoever, that's guilty as ever. And the fact that they waited for her parents to leave to bum rush her with the dogs barking in the back and making noise. Who knows? There's no visual, so we don't even know what's going on, But let me know down in the comments what y'all think. Peepodcove. I'm going to see y'all in the next one.